I called my neighbor a bulldozer, out loud, in front of the entire Saturday crew at the community garden. Just came out of my mouth like I had pulled a weed and the whole root finally let go. You know that feeling when the soil gives and your arm flies back? That. I got my little plot this spring, 10 by 10, boxed with rough pine boards, the kind of space that makes you feel like you have a tiny farm even though you can hear buses braking 2 blocks away. I was stupid proud of it. I drew a map of where the tomatoes would go and where the basil would live, and I labeled a row just for marigolds because the internet said they are good neighbors. Enter Marlene. Her plot is next to mine and has been for years. She grows the kind of vegetables that look like they went to private school. Straight carrot shoulders, smug cabbages, sunflowers that could sign autographs. First thing she ever said to me was not hello. It was City Boy, like it was printed on my badge. Every time I lugged in my watering can, City Boy. Every time I crouched to thin seedlings, City Boy, you know you were supposed to do that with confidence. When I brought a small bag of compost I had been babying on my balcony, she looked at it and said, that is cute. Like I had shown up with a hamster. I told myself she was just one of those blunt people. Everyone knows a blunt person. They are the human version of gravel. I tried to laugh it off. I smiled and said, yeah, first season, learning as I go. Then she started with the gifts, not kind ones. A packet of seeds left on my plot that said, easy veggies for beginners. A little printout stuck under a rock with the title, How to Stop Killing Plants. Make sure you water, City Boy, she said, in front of the board president, like I had been trying to hydrate with sarcasm. I pulled her aside after a workday. I said, hey, can you not call me City Boy? My name is Amir, and can you stop with the jokes about me not knowing what I am doing? I am actually trying. She smiled with all her teeth and said, I am just teasing. You are too sensitive. We are all family here. Then she put her sunflowers along our shared edge, tall as streetlights, throwing shade at my tomatoes like it was their job. When I asked if we could angle them, she said the sun belongs to everyone. I said my tomatoes would love to borrow some. She laughed. It kept going. At the potluck, she said your pesto is store-bought energy with a straight face while chewing a second slice. At the tool shed, she took the good hoe and said, City Boy does not need this one yet, baby steps. She left a sticky note on my trellis that said real tomatoes need real support. There were people around who saw it, who heard it, who did that tight smile and looked back down at their strawberry plants like they had to read them a bedtime story. I told her again. I said, please stop. She winked. Next week, she brought a children gardening book and dropped it on my plot. I'm not kidding. I could feel something in my chest twist like a hose with a knot in it. Harvest day shows up, August sun doing the heavy lifting. We line up our baskets to weigh produce and brag a little. My tomatoes are not perfect, but they are red and warm and they smell like summer. I am proud. I put the basket on the table. People are joking. Bees are going slow between the zinnias. Somebody left lemonade with too much sugar. The scale beeps. I hear her steps before I see her. Boots on gravel. Marlene. She comes up beside me, all neighborly, and one finger taps the tomato on top. Tap. She says real soft, like she's doing me a favor. Careful there, City Boy. Those are decorative. Maybe try plastic ones next season. They will go better with your little marigolds. Something snapped. The knot in the hose, it slid free. I turned, real calm, like my mouth had decided before my brain could vote. I said, at least I do not have to bulldoze people to feel tall. At least I do not build fences with my mouth. You are a bulldozer, Marlene. You flatten whatever you cannot grow. It got quiet in a way that was not peaceful at all. The bees sounded loud. The string flags above the table flicked. The board president went very still with the clipboard. Marlene blinked once, then twice, like a car turning its lights on. Her cheeks flushed, then drained, and her jaw did this little tremble that made my stomach flip because I had finally said it and everyone heard it, and I could feel the word bulldozer hanging there between us like a shovel midair, and she opened her mouth to say something, and I said, my name is Amir, and she leaned forward and the scale beeped again, and the sun hit the side of her face and she took a breath and